Hi guys, welcome to my channel and to a very different kind of video than I normally do. A bit ago I asked on my Instagram for you all to ask me some questions and because I was going to do a Q&A video, and originally I was going to do a Q&A video as I did some sticker placement, and I realized that there's no way I wouldn't be able to. I just couldn't do it. I would get too distracted. So what I decided to do was, as you can tell by the title, is do a little bit of coloring while I answer your questions. So before I get into the questions, which thanks for the questions that you have asked me, if you have any questions I don't answer or any additional ones, leave them in the comments. I want to keep doing this because I think this is going to be fun. Second of all, let me introduce you to what I got here. So this is my iPad. This is such an old iPad that Apple Pencils do not work with it. So when I draw, I actually don't use an Apple Pencil like most people. I use a boring old stylus. I bought like a pack of 10 of these on Amazon and they work great. They're all over my apartment. So let's open up my lovely iPad. So the first thing I'm going to do is, oh, it's already on Do Not Disturb mode. Perfect. So the app that I draw on is called Procreate. You are probably very familiar with this app if you've seen other people draw, but if you're not, it is an app that's only available on the iPad, and it does cost money. I believe it was $10, but it's definitely worth it. I'm sorry about the weird lighting, but because this is a reflective screen, there's no way for me to make the lighting work. I'm going to give you a quick tour of my Procreate. It is kind of a mess. I started out, I didn't know you could put things into groups, so like if I drag something, I can put it into another thing, like stack them into groups. So I have here a lot of, I started drawing, because this is kind of one of the questions I was asked, I started drawing characters first, just because there were things that I wanted to make. Hold on, the lighting's super weird now. So then my very first kit that I drew is actually my back to school kit that was recently released. I attempted to do my own digital papers for it, and luckily I decided that I was too awful at those. Like, this is not great. I don't know. I don't, like, those who can do digital papers, kudos to you. But for those who saw the kit, all of the things that weren't in it, so each of these backpack drawings, in addition to the one thing here, I have so many different colors that I put together. So this one only has 4. Well, actually, I like to have the thumbnail of the picture be what it is. But I know this one, I think I did in a ton of colors. Yeah. So anyway, I made a ton of clip art for this, and I'll talk about this a little later. Some cute kids, the scenes. So this is the first one that I figured out you could stack them. The first kit I released was my Washington, D.C. kit, which, this is my notes of what I want to draw, and this probably looks very familiar. Some of this didn't end up making it into the kit. That is a drawing of my brother and his fiancée. This is a drawing, you might actually notice some familiarities. This ended up being, ended up being one of the shots from the Washington, D.C. kit. Instead of like her fingers up in the air, she's like holding a camera. Let me show you the inspiration pic, because I think it's always nice to see what inspired it. The inspiration pic is a picture of my little sister. So this is what I drew. This was the inspiration. You can see it's basically the same outfit, but it's my little sister. She sent me this picture, and I drew it. And I changed her hair because I could not get, I attempted to do the curls, but I could not get it to work. Sorry, you guys have to go through all this. This is another picture of my sister. This looks very much nothing like her. I just was uncomfortable, I don't know why, with the picture I had of her. So this is like an adult version of her. I did give her a nose job as requested by her. Very strange. This is a portrait I'm working on of my future sister-in-law. Anyway, I'm going to stop doing that, and I'm going to show you what we're working on now. So this is my county fair art. I am trying to release a county fair themed kit, and I'm having trouble with it. So here's a list of the things I want to put in it right now. So this is kind of like my list of things that remind me of the county fair. I don't know if this is the same in every state, but everything in Indiana, that's where I'm from, all of the county fairs have the same similar vibe. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So lemon shake-ups, they're these drinks that are everywhere. There's usually a petting zoo, a tractor pull, everything is deep fried. There's popcorns, carousels, you know, like the 4-H aspect of it with animals, which I'll show you. So let me show you so far what I've put together. This was the very first thing I drew, and the color scheme of this kit is these 4 colors right here, that green, blue. Let's see if I have a palette I can show you. Yeah, so that is my color palette. So that's like the darker version and the lighter version. Sorry about that. My notifications are still on. So this was the Ferris wheel. It's not complete. I feel like it needs one more element to it, but I wanted to show you. You see this like cloudy design. You can kind of see it a little bit here as well, and you'll see it throughout. It's a different kind of style that I am trying with this kit, and I'm kind of feeling it. Next, we have things like the cotton candy. The cotton candy is actually the very first thing that made me want to... let me see if turning on the white background will help. Yeah, it does. The cotton candy was the first thing that made me want to do that like cloudy watercolory design. It's hard to see because of the lights, but I couldn't get the texture right, and adding that like effect made it work. This is a funnel cake. This was one of the hardest pieces I had to draw, not because of the elements that are difficult, but just there were so many. I just I made one fishbowl and then I copied and pasted it, so they're all the same, just different colors. And then the fishies are so cute. So this is, I know these games are like pretty cruel, but I always love the goldfish game. So it's supposed to be like this, and you can see again, oops, I keep making lines. You can see that watercolory effect. That, like, I call it clouds, and so does the app. So that's one scene. This is, I'm sorry this is taking forever, but I've never shown anybody my art, like, on the app. So this is one of my drawings I'm most proud of, like, ever. Like, the cow looks like a cow. The girl's outfit is cute. I think I can't draw eyes. That's why she's, like, has her eyes closed. But, like, her outfit's on point. She looks cute. I've got that watercolory cloudy thing going on in the background a little bit in there's texture to it. So this comes with, sorry, I'm plugged in. So this comes in a ton of skin tones that I'll have released for the girl. The cow will come in the one type. So got the white girl. You see all of them. So I wanted to show you the inspiration pic for this. So usually when I start to draw something, I'll obviously, you know, not just come up with it on my own because I'm not that talented. I usually find a picture online. So take a look at this. You know, you got a cow, you got the cute girl. This is the picture I based this art off of. Oh, let me make it bigger. Actually, here, I'll just zoom in. It's a weird little boy with his different colored cow. She was originally a boy, is what I'm trying to say. The outfit has changed a lot since. Things I'm most proud of on this other than like the stuff I talked about, is making the buttons have dimensions. That's one of my first times playing around with that. One of the things you can also see in this kit that I'm terrible at drawing fingers. There are no fingers seen, and I can already see a mistake here where I need to clean up those lines. But this is, I haven't decided whether this will be a double box or single box. I'm having issues with this. I wanted to have a county fair sign, but the word fair isn't popping as much, so I am still working on it. Oops, I meant to click on gallery. We have the list, and now here's what we're actually working on. Roundabout way, but we made it here. So let me first show you the inspiration pic. Let me turn off these layers. Give me a second to clean this up. Okay, so so this is the color palette again. So it's those 4 colors I showed you before, but I pulled in some browns just because I felt like I really just pulled them in. So here's the inspiration pic. It's a reindeer and Santa one, but like the colors really spoke to me and just like the dimensioning of it. So I will show you things in the order let me show you things in the order I drew them. So I first drew the horses. So they're, so my bottom layer is always in the purple color. I'm going to zoom in a teensy bit. It's purple because it's one of the colors that I never use except for in shading. So whenever I draw with it, I know that's my outline. For that layer, I use in the inking, I use a technical pen. I usually make it slightly larger. Oop, I am drawing on a hidden layer. And I use this purple color. This is a fun way to get colors. You can just click. But yeah. And I turn on something called Streamline, so like here's this with normal. If you click on the pen and you go to streamline, and like I just put it on max usually just because that's easier, it like makes your lines cleaner. I don't think it's cheating. So these are the 3 horses. I wanted to get their dimensioning right so it looks like this one is like on a curve. So this took a really long time to draw, and I wanted to make them each unique. Next I drew their base. No, next I drew their poles. So these poles are actually what I'm going to start working on today. These are, you know, what hook them in. Next we have their base. So like this all intersects. I do it each on its own layer because it makes things easier in the long run. Then we have, what is this? I don't know what that layer is. We have the top of the carousel, and I actually think that's it. So this is what I will eventually look like once it's all colored. It will have, you know, look much better. So, oh, actually, let's keep those on. So the first thing I colored were the horses. Those were very fun. So what I do after I get like the first, you know, outline layer is I add on top of it a black outline layer. Everything of mine has a black outline, so I use for my black outlines on calligraphy. It's my favorite. It's the monoline pen. I jack up the streamline and I do it in black. I can't remember the sizing, but I'll figure it out. Let's get that. Yeah, that's about right. A little larger, a little smaller. Okay. So, you know, you can see I changed some things up. So let me turn off the outlines. And then I colored these in, and with this you can see some of that cloudy effect I was going for. With this one's like some of the best. So like in the saddle you can especially see it. And I think this really makes this look rustic, which is what I was going for. So the thing we are working on today is the poles. So while I answer questions, I am going to work on these. So I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to start drawing the poles while I answer questions. So I am, okay, sorry, my AC just kicked on. I'm trying to find the right size. So the first question I have is, what do I draw on? And again, I already answered that. This is a really old crappy iPad that I got forever ago. It's like the app crashes half the time that I use it. I'm just drawing the straight lines right now, and I cheat and I use the snap straight line tool. I'm using the Procreate app, which I recommend, and I am just using a boring, normal, old stylus. You don't need fancy things to draw, although on my list of things I want is an iPad Pro, whatever iPad works with Apple Pencils. Next, what got you into planning? Like most people, like at heart, I was always a planner in one way or another. You know, in high school, they always gave us planners, and I like tried to use them, or I always bought one, and I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I always struggled with finding a planner piece, something that worked for me, and I switched planners all the time. I don't have any of my middle school planners, which I did use some in middle school as well, but I have all my high school planners still, which is crazy. And I got really super more into planning when, I want to say 2015, I was in college, and as a birthday present to myself, I bought myself an Erin Condren, Erin Condren Colorful Vertical. And I was so excited. I had seen friends using it, like not like glam planning style, but like just using in text, and I was like, those people look organized. So I thought that would help me because I was struggling in getting, like, I was feeling overwhelmed. I was in college at the time. So I got that, and I really loved it. I didn't use anything too special. I started out, you know, the stickers that come in the back of the book. I really liked those, and I actually ordered more of them from Erin Condren. And I used those mostly. I mean, they were great. They worked. I even ordered, I think, some custom ones. I can't remember. And then I got a little bit into washi. Nothing crazy, just like cheap Michaels washi, basically. And I used that, and there was a little bit of decoration. I should eventually show you guys flip-throughs of those, but like I added little by little, you know. I bought weather stickers from it was probably like staples, and I used those to mark weather, and like I was always adding little things, and I was like pretty blind to the planning community, which brings me into the next question, which is how did you get into glam planning, which is what I really most of us refer to as like all the stickers. I didn't really get into glam planning until like 2016, and like many people, I got into it because of YouTube. I wasn't on Instagram. I was one of those weird college kids who didn't have an Instagram. I am not very good at social media, she says on her YouTube channel. But I just find it overwhelming unless I have like a reason to be there. And Instagram felt like, I don't know, I never took that many pictures, so I didn't feel the need to be there. I was on Twitter, I was on Facebook, so I never like, because that's where the planning community was. They were on Pinterest, and they were on Instagram, and then they were on YouTube, and I wasn't that into YouTube at the time. Not sure where it cut me off. My camera overheated. Honestly, I should have let it cool down more. Basically, I watched people on YouTube, and I got more into it, and the rest is kind of history. But it kind of rolls into the next question. So I was buying functional stuff off of Etsy, like no kits or anything, just cute functional things, and at the end of 2016, okay, so like I didn't lose my job. So I was on a contract that ended at the end of 2016, and I thought it would be extended, and then it wasn't. So I was kind of like there were all kinds of things happening in the world right around November 2016, cough, cough. So I took like a mental break from the world. I traveled for a bit. To family and stuff, and it was really good. It was very good to get away. But while I was away, I was getting, like, my planner wasn't near me, and I realized how much I needed it. And when I got back, I got really into planning because it was helping me to basically get a job. I didn't have a job at the time, so I'm making another layer under this pole layer so we can do some coloring. So I didn't have a job, so I could not afford to buy tons of kits because kits can get expensive. So I got printables. I printed them on just normal paper, like sticker paper, and we're gonna do this color, I want to say. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this off so I can color. So I got really into that, to printables. I loved printables. There was a time when all I did was printables. So that was fun. I'm just going to clean up the edges later. The printables, like even then I wasn't doing full kits, but then at the end of 2016, I needed a new planner, and I did get another Erin Condren, and as I was going in to buy my Erin Condren Vertical, something in my brain snapped and was like, hey, let's try a horizontal. So I bought a horizontal. That answers one of the questions, was why did I choose a horizontal? It was a spur of the moment thing that I did regret for a while. So right as I got my horizontal, I was getting more into glam planning, but nobody made horizontal kits that were no white space, which is really what I wanted to do. So I started, designing it is like, gives it way too much credit. I was making them in the Silhouette Studio. I didn't have a cutting machine at the time, and then cutting them out by hand. And then in February of that year, this is now going to the next question, which is why'd you open your Etsy shop? In February of 2017, again, moving through time, this is less of a question and answer and more of a story time, I guess. So in February of 2017, what am I using? Ooh, I don't want to use round brush. I don't like round brush. It's one of my least favorite brushes. It used to be my favorite, but it leaves behind residue. So 2017, February, I started making, I was really getting good at printables, and I listed them on Etsy as printables you could buy, and people liked them. I listed them for really cheap, which has always been part of my philosophy, is I was always a broke person who couldn't afford the sticker community. Later that year, I don't really remember when, my parents were feeling sorry for me is the only thing I can really think was happening. But they gave me a present of money and was like, don't use this on bills. I'm using the clouds and elements. I really like this. This is what I've been using to get that effect. But they're like, don't use this on bills. Use this on something to treat yourself. And I decided to buy myself a silhouette cutting machine. And it's still the same cutting machine I have to this day. So thank you, parents. I'm just going to do some shading right now. So great. So I got that and I started, instead of, printing and cutting them by hand, I had a cutting machine. It was great. I didn't sell physical stickers until like a month or two later when I felt I got comfortable with it, and I only sold horizontal kits. Oh, I missed a whole part of the story. One of the reasons I started designing my own kits is nobody made horizontal, no white space kits, so I came up with my own dimensions and sizing, and I did that. And then the rest is kind of history. The shop was open up until June, I want to say, of, no, it was open up until June, July of 2017. Then I got an amazing, amazing new job, the job I currently have. I am doing some more, like, dark shading now. Oh, that's much better. And I just didn't have time to do both while I, like, juggled the new job, and I was commuting a ton, and I was getting ready to move. It was just a whole thing, so I put the shop on vacation mode. I really should have just switched it to back to only printables. That would have been the normal, sane thing to do, but I just kind of freaked and was like, nope, just shut it all down. And then I'll get back into... let's just go with the timeline, then I'll get back to the questions. I still continue to make stickers for myself. I still continue to post on YouTube. And then I had time to reopen my shop after I moved, but I decided against it because the printer I was using died, and I didn't have money to buy, like, a nice new printer. Like, it was whatever. It worked for me with the stickers I was making for myself, but they were pretty low quality. And the print was awful, and it bled, and I wasn't comfortable selling that. At the end of 2017, I got a bonus at work. I don't know if I'm allowed to, what the etiquette is, but it was a $1,000 bonus. I used that to pay the next month's rent, so I felt like I had a little bit less of a load on myself. And then what was left, I used to buy a new printer for myself, which I made a video about, so if you're interested in that, it's out there in the world. And when I saw, like, the print, I was like, oh, damn, like, this is better quality than anything I was producing before. I decided, oh, my camera's dying, or my phone's dying. I decided to start selling again, so I reopened end of December, start of January, and I've been open ever since. It's been really a lot more fun now that I feel more comfortable with my designs and my stickers. That was, like, my life story, Etsy and planning. If you have any more questions or I missed parts of the story, let me know and I'll do that. So the next question, which is actually like the second or third question, was what was the first Etsy shop you bought from? I looked this up. The first one is a shop called Moore Avenue. In way back when, I think it was 2015, 2016, I bought some decorative weekend banners from her. That's it. That's all that really I got. Let me see how this looks. Oh, yes. That looks good. So, yeah, that's my first, okay, so I looked up some other things. So my first monthly, so I'm going to squeeze these two together, these two layers to make them one layer. So the first monthly that I purchased was from, Planning Simplified, which is a digital shop. I just duplicated these because I'm lazy. I'm not going to make 3 different ones. She is a she's a printables shop. She's one of my favorite printables. I still occasionally buy from her when I am not feeling it, or like I forgot to get a kit and I don't want to make one or use one of my own. So I recommend it if you are looking for digital stickers. This is a very lazy thing I do where I just duplicate instead of making 3 unique ones. Sue me. Okay. And then the first glam planning kit, the first full kit I bought was in January of 2017, so I'm still pretty new to the kit community technically. and it was from Scribble Prints Co., because of course it was. Y'all, what do you think? I'm gonna keep drawing just because I can. What do I want to do next? I guess the base makes the most sense to do next. Should I make it like a darker color or a lighter color? So let's see what looks best. So, I'm looking for, I couldn't remember what pen I was looking for. Those were the first shops. Why did I start my shop? I talked about it. It was really like, I was already making the kits and stuff, and I wanted to put them out there into the community. What looks better? The dark definitely looks better, in my opinion. How does the dark look against this? Yeah, let's do dark. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. I still need to do my black layer. So, that's why I started my shop. Why did I close my shop for so long? It was a combination of things. You know, I was starting a new job, and new jobs are stressful, man. Like, there's a lot to do, a lot to get accustomed to, and then up until I moved, so I got the job, I started July 5th, the day after July 4th, because they wouldn't let me start on July 4th. And then I was still living an hour and a half away from work until December 1st. So I was commuting 3 hours every day, which was taking up all my time. I didn't have time to have a shop. And just making sure it was so I didn't have time. And then once the jobs, like, I moved here, like, pretty soon after I moved here, like, less than a month, I reopened. So honestly, I think it was the commute. I feel like I should have taken a bit longer to reopen, you know, get settled in a little more, because I know it took me longer to unpack, because when I had free time, I didn't want to unpack. I wanted to work on the shop. Non-shop stuff. What's your favorite pen? I've got two favorite pens. I've got several favorite pens. So the Papermate Inkjoy Gel Pen in 0.5 or 0.7, depending on my mood. I love all my pen gems. I use gel refills, but sometimes I do feel those ballpoint pens, especially when I'm just taking quick notes at work. I actually have one of my pen gems nearby. Another favorite pens, my tried and true in high school and college was my Pilot G207. I had that in every color. Favorite planner, I love my Erin Condren Vertical. I'm so glad that I went back to it for 2018. It was interesting being in a horizontal for a year, and I have a lot of plan with me's if you want to see how I managed. But at the end of the day, I was really having a tough time not being able to buy sticker kits from any other shop. Other favorite planners, I'm really liking my B6. I'll eventually do a video about it once I, really figure out how I'm using it, but it's gorgeous. Like, I love the leather. What planner fad can you not get behind? Ooh. I do not know. For a while, I would have said washi, but I'm into it now. Planner fads I can't get behind. Ooh. I don't know, man. Pass. What planner fad are you into that you're embarrassed about? Oh, this one, the answer is washi. And not any kind of washi, simply gilded washi. If you go back a few videos, you'll see me saying things like, yeah, I don't really get it, so whatever. I'm deep into it. I've spent an embarrassing amount of money on Simply Gilded Washi, both, on her site directly from her and the buy-sell trade, which is a black hole that you should never enter if you value your wallet. But basically, I started getting into Simply Gilded Washi right around the same time I was told I was getting a raise, so I felt like, oh, I can do this. This is okay. It is not okay. Oopsies. I really want to know, what planner fad can I not get behind? It's a good question. I think so far I've fallen into whatever planner fads there are. Great. I'm going to focus on just the base for now. So what is your least favorite part about the planner community? I think we're getting to the point in the planner community where people are starting to call each other out on really dumb stuff that they don't need to be. Particularly, the one that bothers me the most is when people are like, you copied X or Y. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all, we all copied each other. That's how communities like this start. I think that's one of the big things that has always bothered me, or bothers me recently, especially in terms of foil. Like, yeah, one shop did that thing first, probably, but like more than one person can have the same idea independent of each other. And like, we don't own things. Like, I didn't come up with headers and full boxes, but like, it should make you push yourself to innovate. Okay? So, stop calling people out for all of that. People complaining about there being too many new Etsy shops and that their shop is failing. Like, your shop isn't failing, your customers are looking for something else. Figure out why those people are going to those shops. Don't just complain that people ain't loyal. What is your favorite part about the planner community? Oh, I have never met another person in the planner community. Like, none of my friends are in it. I don't know anybody really locally, but like, I mean, I'm a lone wolf kind of gal, so I don't really need it. But I like that I can say that even though I've never met these people, I still consider them friends. I think it's truly the community part of it. Especially like on buy sell trades, you see it. Like, random people I buy stuff from are throwing in freebies that they could definitely sell themselves. Like, I participate. Like, if I get a journaling card that I don't like that you want and are trying to buy, I'm just gonna send it for you for free. I'm not gonna make money off of it. Things like that. Favorite part about owning a sticker shop? This is the easy one. Unlimited stickers. No, but having stickers of my own and not, like, when I have my own kits, like, with other shops, I feel awful sometimes using their stickers because, like, once I use them, they're gone. I can always print and cut my own. Other things I like is kind of, like, knowing things. Like, when I see a sticker shop, like, doing something or talking about something, I'm like, I know what shop you got that art from, or I know how you did that. Like, knowing the behind the scenes without knowing the true behind the scenes. Least favorite part about owning a sticker shop. Oh god, there's so many things. My least favorite almost all the time is making listings. Like, getting the pictures ready, like, editing, uploading, making the listings, because, it's a pain. I don't like it. If somebody could go ahead and make all my listings for me forever, I would appreciate. Sorry, a ton of coloring is just erasing, as it turns out. Other things I don't like about owning a sticker shop, I'm here on my own doing this. I've tried to get, like, my boyfriend to help me. I even told him I'd pay him, but he wasn't into it, and he was awful at cutting stickers. But, it's that I'm all on my own, and, like, some days when I'm just really tired, I still need to get orders out because people bought them and want to get them out. I don't know, I like that I can offer people something that I made that they like. It's also helped me find my more creative side, a la drawing. My favorite type of stickers that I make. Number one will be any sticker that I drew, just because it is crazy to me that any human being would be interested in something that I drew. And it turns out that several human beings are. Which is always nice. I'm trying to find out which size of dot these are. So these dots are going to be the 4 colors of the kit. It's too big. My phone is dying, so I'm going to steal this power cord. My phone is my camera, in case y'all's wondering. Just gonna plug that in. Let's move that over here. Perfect. That's still a little small. Oh, perfect. What was I saying? Favorite type of stickers I make. So stickers that I draw, obviously, I'm gonna like those. What other things do I like? Does that look good? No, it really doesn't. Huh. Does it need to be brighter? How do I make these pop? Interesting. So give me 1 second. I'm having trouble making these look good. So let me grab the darker color. But even that I don't think would look very good, because once I turn on this background. Alright, I'm going to need like a super dark color like this. Although this isn't bad. Let's see what they all look like. Oops. So. Okay, more questions. Type of stickers I make. I love my character stickers. They are my least best seller of all time. Those are the ones that never sell. But I will continue to sell them because they're cute. You can't stop me. Okay, yeah, I think I like it. I'm going to delete that because I didn't like how they were positioned. But I liked it in general. Yeah, that's really it. Least favorite type of sticker that I sell right now is horizontal kits, because they make me uncomfortable. One of the things that I always wanted to pride myself on in this with my shop is that I use the stickers that I make, but I no longer use horizontal kits, and I feel really uncomfortable not using something I make. So I do have a horizontal planner I bought used from someone. It's for like last year. So like I can play around with the stickers, but I'm not into like faux planning or like mock planning. When is foil coming? That was a question I was asked a few times. I've had a lot of issues with foil. Like when I first started, it was like really easy, but now nothing is foiling correctly, which sucks. But I can't release something that I can't make. So we'll see if I ever do foil. I'm going to try. I might do some die cuts because I think that's nice. It's basically where the cut lines are. I can't get the foiling to work at all. And it just makes everything else look bad. So we might have to do something where stickers I make, none of the stickers I make can have cut lines where there will be foil, which will limit what I can make. Sorry, I know, I kind of like sneaked it and then, yeah. My favorite foil color, I am a silver girl. That's my favorite. I don't really like rose gold or gold, but I've used gold in my planner before and it's looked good. So these are supposed to be lights if you can't really tell. Like, I hope you can tell. My favorite shops. Okay, I have so many favorite shops that I'm gonna miss them. Character shops, Coffee Monsters Co., Once More with Love. I've gotten to the Glam Plan, Teeny Fam, Happy Dia stickers. Really just watch any of my plan with me's, and it's the ones that I use often. Shops for kits. What did I do wrong? Oh, nothing. Shops for kits, it's, it's the ones that I use. Scribble Prints Co., my favorite foiled shop is, for kits, is Station Stickers. Really just whatever I use is what I would count as my favorite, because there's shops that I buy from that I never use their kits that I wouldn't describe as my favorite. Just because, like, I buy them, but, if I'm not going to use you, it's not a hoarding thing. It's I don't know. If I don't use your kit, that's not a compliment. That's what I was trying to say. Thoughts? I think I just need to, I've got an idea. It's this color that is throwing me off, this really dark one. Let's see if we make it light, if it'll look better. Okay, I'm actually really liking that. You can't see the yellow very well, but we'll deal. We will deal. Okay. Back to this layer. Sorry if this is not interesting. This is my first time filming anything like this. What is my filming setup? Calling this a filming setup is it's mean because it makes all other things, you're giving it too much credit, man. So I have a shitty tripod that is broken that I picked up at Goodwill. I love Goodwill. I've got a phone holder that's holding my cell phone, and that is my camera. It overheats a ton and runs out of space a ton. Honestly, I keep looking up because I think it's going to overheat. I have two so first of all, this board is just a poster board from Walmart that is so beat up, and I keep saying I need a new one and not doing it. I have two lights. One of them is over here, and the only reason I still have this light is for filming. It was also my filming light back when I lived in my old place. It's just a light that is only here for filming purposes, and then on the left it's my table light that I use to like make sure all the cuts are good in stickers. I like hold it up against it so it's super bright, so I have those coming in. And then because there's no viewfinder, because my phone is just pointed down and I didn't want like my screen to be right here, I don't know why, I have an Apple TV and a TV over there, so I mirror my screen from my phone to my TV so I can watch myself. I thought it was pretty ingenious for coming up with that. It does make my phone overheat faster, which is, you know, give and take, but whatever, it works. So that's my filming setup. I would love to have a much more professional, nice setup, but that costs money, and I can't really justify it, you know? It's not like I can't afford it, I just can't justify it. Why did you start drawing your own art? That is an excellent question. So you might remember this if you've been around, but I used to do monthly releases of kits, and it was basically like once every month I would release a ton of stuff. My monthlies, like 4 to 5 collections, stickers, doodles, everything all at once. And it was too overwhelming, and I thought it would be better to do it all at once, and then it was a bad idea. So basically one month I kind of crashed, and I just didn't do anything. Several of you messaged me during that time and were like wondering if, sorry, I'm cleaning up stuff, if I was okay. I just needed to take a break. Like, I still got out orders, I just wasn't doing new stuff. And during that time I had a little bit of like a identity crisis. I was like, do I even like having my own shop? So I started drawing digital stuff, because I was like, maybe I will. I actually was planning on opening an art shop, like a digital goods shop, and just doing that instead of, because I still wanted to be a part of the community, but I wasn't kind of feeling stickers, and I wanted to go maybe do a printable shop. But I made some art, and I really liked it, and I wanted to turn it into a kit. But the issue was, and I just wanted to show it to you. So the first piece of art I made was in the back to school kit. It was this right here. This is the inspiration pic. Like, it was almost exactly traced, honestly. Like, I'm okay with tracing, but like, this was the first thing I made, and I was concerned that nobody would really, like, in combination with this, I was like, nobody really wants to buy a like clip art thing that already has 2 of your full boxes, and maybe even if those are double boxes, decided for you. So I was like, no one's gonna buy this, and I wanted to make it into a kit because I wanted that kit to exist. So I made it myself. And then I was like, oh, hey, I can make this for shows I like. So I made one for one of my favorite TV shows called Arrested Development, and that did not sell whatsoever, but it made me so happy. So I kept doing it, and it's actually, drawing is what brought me back. Me having custom kits is one of the few reasons there's still a shop around, because I don't think anybody would buy my art. I don't think it's good enough for that, especially because I can't make digital papers. But at least with me around, someone's making it. And I find inspiration from the weirdest things. Reformatting old kits, which is what I'm working on now for some fall stuff, is some of my favorites. Yeah. What kits am I currently working on drawing? So obviously this one. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm going to just say them all out loud here, so yeah. So one of them is like a spa casino mix. There's a place in Indiana called French Lick, which is, you can look it up. It's a cool place, but I am going on a trip there later this year, and I kind of wanted to make like a French Lick inspired kit. I don't think I'll be able to do it before the trip, honestly, because I don't know the place well enough to do that, but I think when I get there, I'm going to take a ton of pictures and draw it afterwards. I wanted to do a golf kit. I don't play golf, but I think golf is a fascinating sport. I wanted to do a Supergirl themed one because Supergirl is coming out soon. I do have some Supergirl character stickers that'll come out, but we'll see if I have time for a kit. I wanted to make one for the show The Good Place because I liked it. I started doing some stuff for it, like sketching by hand, not on the iPad. I'm not sure how I feel about it because it's going to be very character heavy, and I didn't want that. I want to make an election kit. I think a lot of people are going to make election art kits, but I would like to make one as well. What else? My birthday's in December, so I might do a birthday kit, but there's a lot of great birthday art out there. I want to do a Hanukkah kit, because all the Hanukkah kits that are out there, or like the Hanukkah art, is boring. I am Jewish, in case I never mentioned. those are what I'm working on. If you have ideas, let me know. I'm not into like very generic. Well, actually, if you have a great idea that's not been done before, if it's generic, like I'll play around with it. But I'm not into the kits that already exist. What is your goal with your sticker shop? My goal is not to make this my full-time job, and I love my job. It takes up all my life, but I love it. Yeah, I love it. I just want, my sticker shop is a hobby. I don't really know what the goal is. Right now I really like the fact that really any income I make from the shop, I just kind of use it to buy more stuff for like sticker stuff. So I guess that's kind of my goal. In case you're wondering, once I reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm planning a huge giveaway. And I'm thinking, I know this is a little irrelevant, but I'm thinking I'm going to make the giveaway to give someone like a cutting machine so they can start their own business or something. I don't know. Or I could just make it something simple and make it shop credit. Who really knows? Least favorite thing to draw. God, there's so much. I'm so bad at drawing, guys. I love simple things like lines and like this kind of stuff. It's my bread and butter. This is the stuff that's actually relaxing to me. I hate drawing faces, eyes, hands, really. It's just, I'm not good at it. Even if I have like reference pictures, I mess it up. I even tried like practices where I basically trace someone else's drawing. I found some like, I actually found them on Etsy, some like teach yourself how to draw like digital files that I bought and like was practicing with, and I couldn't do it. I just suck at it. So that's the kind of stuff I hate drawing. Drawing realistic things is something I would always like to do, but I'm very bad at it. This like stylized look is much better. Favorite artists. I'm not really into art. I'm not very good at art in like beyond just drawing it, just like knowing it. But my favorite artist in terms of kits art in the community, I love Kittenish Girl Plans. Her name is Jess. Her art style is goals. If she ever does custom slots where I can be like, here's a picture of my friends and family, please draw it in your art style. That's kind of what I want. I want to message her because my brother's getting married, and there's a picture of his fiance that I was trying to draw, and I would realize like halfway through that I wasn't trying to draw it in my style. Like, it wasn't a picture of her, it was a picture of both of them, but like, it's really just, he was just there. But I realized I was trying to draw it in her art style, which kind of feels wrong, but like, is her art style. But that's what I was going for, and I was like, why don't I just ask her to draw it? So it's on my list of things to ask her. Their wedding's not till next year. Where did you learn to draw? I disagree with the premise of the question, which is that I know how to draw. I'm not very good at this, guys. Like, if I can do this, you can. If you look at any of my art, it's very simple line work. Anything that's complicated, like, is probably, like, took me years to draw, or I simplified something that could have probably looked better. I can't draw very well. You all are just too nice. Why did you choose a horizontal planner last year? I mentioned this earlier, but it was on a whim. A really, really dumb whim. And lastly, actually, really, truly, the last question, what is your preference, vertical or horizontal? I am a vertical girl at heart. Even when I try to do like mock plans in my horizontal, I do miss it just because for nostalgia's sake. Wow, that's awful English. But I don't know. I'm a vertical girl. I like the fact that I can buy kits from shops and make them work. I like the fact that things look nice at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm sorry that this has been boring. I have no more questions left, by the way. This is really just me doing outlines, not coloring as much. So I don't have any more questions, so I'm not going to stick around, but I am going to show you this so far. Basically turn on all the layers. So drawing takes a really long time. Making these art pieces, like, I've been filming for probably 30-45 minutes. This piece itself, like drawing the first layer, took me an hour or two, and drawing all the coloring and all the other pieces is going to take me at least 3 to 4 hours. That's why it takes me a lot of time to put out kits, because I'm very slow. Oops. Anyway, this will hopefully eventually look good. Maybe I can edit and upload this super quickly so you guys can ask me more questions for another video. If you don't like this layout, or you want it to be, or like this format of video, or you want it to be shorter, or whatever, let me know down below. But other than that, I truly want you to take away from this that if I can draw, anyone can. Like, look at this. This is the world's most simple line work. Guys, you can do this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any feedback on this kit, or you have ideas, because I don't have enough like pieces of it in my mind to make a full kit, please let me know. This is the color palette for it. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Hold on, let me try to get a good shot for the, oops, yikes. Trying to get a good shot for like the picture at the beginning, the whatever. Ah, screw it. Bye guys.